Hello, it's Joe from Nerd in Korea. We are doing one of my commander recommendations again. This is where I go through a few interesting commanders and I make suggestions about, on a budget, how to start building the deck. This is all about 1 mana commanders. So commanders you could probably get on turn 1 if you want to. This is actually suggested by, or is a question someone asked on a Facebook group, and then I lost track of it. I want to say thank you for the idea. So thank you, random stranger. I can't figure out where it was even, but anyway, please hit like and subscribe. Alright, so we're looking at my top 5 1 mana commanders. First up is number 5. It's going to be Freya Crescent. So she is in 133 decks. She is new from the Final Fantasy set. You probably recognize her from Final Fantasy 9. Anyway, she's only 1 red mana to cast, and she has jump. Sorry, first of all, 1/1 I should say. She's a 1/1, and she has jump. During your turn, she has flying. It's kind of useful that she only has flying during your turn for a lot of removal spells. We'll specify, like, you know, destroy creature with flying or something like that. You can avoid a lot of trouble that way. Not great on defense. I wish she had reach the rest of the time, but oh well. Tap, add a red. Spend this mana to activate an equipment spell or cast an equipment spell or activate an ability of equipment. And yeah, so this is your very standard kind of red Voltron equipment kind of commander. What you're really looking for here is to get to your commander damage win con with her. So yeah, very easy to do with red, especially. Equipment red, yeah, it'll get done. It'll get done quickly. So let's look at what to get with her, though. First up, I'm going to say Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is 4 red, which sounds expensive for the 6/6, but let's see what he does. Whenever he enters or attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put any number of equipment cards from among them into the battlefield, and you can attach 1 to a samurai. He might be your only samurai, but that's okay, right? Auto casting a bunch of equipment, even if you only get 2 or 3, you're probably going to get your 6 mana value right there, right? Very easily, that can pay off. So it's a way to it's not just going to get them to hand, it's going to get them straight to the battlefield, and that's what makes this really good. And only 38 cents, crazy. Ooh. Next up is Brass Squire for 3 colorless. Yeah, it is nice that they can go into any deck, even though we're only red. And tap, he's a 1/1 I should say also. Tap, attach target equipment you control to target creature. Just, yeah, throw an equipment on a creature. No problem. 115, actually. He's gone up a bit in value, actually. Two-handed axe is the weapon I'm recommending. This is just such a good thing. You should get a bunch of these while they're still cheap, I think. Anyway. 2 and a red for this artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, double its power until end of turn. So you're going to double its power. Also, it's an adventure, so it has a sorcery you can use as well. Sweeping Cleave for 1 or red. It is an instant. I think I said sorcery. It's an adventure. It's an instant. Target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. So you can give it double strike with the instant and then cast it and then equip it. And yeah, you'll basically have ×4 damage. So commander damage with your commander, you only need to get her to 6 instead of to get the 21 damage ×4, you only need to get to 6 from 1. So +5 will do it, which is not hard to do, frankly. And moving on to number 4, we have Skrelv, I think it's Skrelv, Defector Mite. He is in 1,553 decks, so much more popular. For 1 white, again, only 1, but it's white this time. A 1/1 with Toxic 1. Toxic is very interesting, we're going to talk about that in a second. He can't block. And for 1 Phyrexian mana, so you can pay 2 life or the 1 white mana. Choose a color, another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and hexproof from that color, and can't be blocked by creatures of that color until end of turn. Very easy to turn this into evasion that can just go past anything a person has, right? You can give it protection from whatever color you want, and then you're done. Or it's not protection from the color, I shouldn't say that. but you know what I mean. Anyway, it's effectively like that. Even hexproof is so useful if you can control which color it is hexproof against at what time. You can basically counter spells with this as well. 131 for this. Yeah. So this in combination with Toxic is so good because you can basically get that Toxic damage through, and Toxic also stacks. So for anything else that has Toxic or Infect, you can turn that into like just more and more and more counters and damage that get through reliably. And also you can use Proliferate, right, to get your win con. So it is a very easy one to get to. Toxic, I think, was supposed to fix Infect. I think it kind of ends up just being synergistic with it instead. Okay, so for my recommended cards here, we've got Prosthetic Injector. It's a 1 mana equipment, 1 colorless mana equipment, I should say. The creature gets +0/+2 and has Toxic 1. Okay, that's the one really important thing about Toxic is that it does stack. So you can have Toxic 1 like 9 times, and basically, yeah, you're gonna do 9 poison counters. Toxic 1 means 1 poison counter, and then Toxic 2 is 2, and so on. Infect just does however many of damage is converted to that instead, or -1 counters on the creature. So yeah, it adds up quick. Anyway, that's a whole 7 cents. Oh, equip 1 also I should have said, but anyway. Grateful Apparition for 1 and a white. It is a flyer, which is nice. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, proliferate. So this is going to be one of the ways you can just keep proliferating with this deck as well. It is only once per turn, or once per combat, I should say, but you can make that really count very quickly. Yeah, 17 cents for that one only. Finally, Lost Leonin. This is their Infect one. There's a lot of Infect choices, so I don't know if this would be your go-to, but anyway. For 1 and a white, again, this is a 2/1 with Infect. 2/1 sounds not good because it's very easy to knock that thing out, but remember, you're going to be giving it like hexproof and, can't be blocked by this color, and you're going to it's going to have Infect and Toxic 1, so it's going to be doing 3 poison counters anytime it hits another player, and then you can just proliferate and stuff like that. 24 cents. All right, moving on to number 3. We've got Frodo Sauron's Bane. He is in 4,186 decks, so a lot more. He's interesting in a lot of ways. First of all, he costs 1 white to cast. He's not a mono white commander though. He's actually an Orzhov commander because he has the black pips in his abilities. So for 2 white or black, meaning you can pay either, you can make him from a 1/2 citizen into a 2/3 scout, or halfling scout, with lifelink. So, getting up there, I guess, but for 3 more black, it does have to be black. If he is a scout, he becomes a halfling rogue with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. That player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times. Otherwise, the ring tempts you. So basically, get your ring temps triggers in, and just start knocking people out of the game. This is almost like a weird version of Voltron, I think. But yeah, like a ring tempts you Voltron. I don't know what to call it. I'm sure there's a better term for that. Someone will tell me, but anyway, 25 cents only. Oi. So, to go along with him, my suggestions are just getting those ring temps triggers and getting the most of that. We got Samwise the Stout-Hearted. We've got Frodo. We've got to have Sam. So he is 1 and a white for this halfling peasant. He's also a legendary creature with Flash, a 2/1 with Flash. And when he enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard, put that into your hand. Or sorry, that was exiled from that left the battlefield this turn, returns to your hand. Then the ring tempts you. Okay, so you're basically getting like creature, you're getting recursion, you're getting like the ring temps trigger. Oh, this is so much for 2 mana, it's crazy. Only 10 cents as well. Aye. And Sam's Desperate Rescue. There's another Sam. For 1 black, this is a sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. The ring tempts you. Very similar to the same thing. This is not limited to something that was taken out this turn though. So yeah, just anything you can put straight back into you. It does have to be a creature card, I guess is the one limitation, but that's only 8 cents. Next up is Access Tunnel. Again, making sure you're getting through with that, right? You gotta make sure that you can get through and not just be blocked right away. He's not like a high damage creature, so he can get taken out pretty easily. It's a land. You can tap to add 1 colorless mana or pay 3 and tap it. Target creature's power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. So yeah, you pay 3, tap it, and Frodo can't be blocked, and you're basically just taking someone out of the game right there. 31 cents only. Number 2. Alright, here we go. Norrin, Swiss Survivalist. This is a weirder one, but I think it's potentially amazing. So he is in 997 decks. Not a whole lot compared to other ones on this list, but he also can't block. He's a 2/1 for 1 red mana, but he can't block. There's a downside. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may exile it. You may play that card from exile this turn. So anytime someone blocks one of your creatures, you're basically going to be recasting it from exile. This sounds maybe not good, but remember, you got things where you can like get benefits for casting things from exile, or get benefits for things leaving the battlefield. ETBs definitely want to get a lot of advantage from entering the battlefield effects, or entering effects, sorry, I'm old, over and over and over. So that can be very worthwhile, but also if you should not have any death triggers in this probably, right? You want to be able to get triggers for things for leaving the battlefield. That there are some there are fewer, harder to find than just the straight up death triggers, but they are there. Anyway, this is only 3 cents. Okay, so my suggestions: Dead Iron Sledge. For 1, this is an equipment that is 2 to equip, and whenever another creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, destroy that creature and equip creature. So you're going to destroy both of them, which, again, it's more of a threat for blocking, right? You're going to add to the blocking threat is the idea. 18 cents. And we've got Taunting Kobold for 1 red. Also has haste. That's really big. A 0/1 with haste. And so whenever it attacks, goad target creature an opponent controls. It is a 0. So they're probably not going to bother like taking it out unless they don't want something goaded. But the fact that it does 0 also means you can attack one player and like use it as a political tool. Like, oh, I'll goad this person's. I guess other people wouldn't want you goading a different player's thing. You can still use it politically to like leave them alone, I guess, is more the idea. I didn't say that out loud when I was planning it before, so I probably should. Anyway, 7 cents. Finally, we got Circuit Mender. He is 3 colorless to cast this artifact creature. 2/3, so not bad. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Sure, why not? When it leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Not when it dies, when it leaves the battlefield. So when you're exiling, if it gets blocked and you exile it, you draw a card, you recast it, you gain life, exile, keep sending it back and forth, get your life gain and card draw all sorted. So yeah, 16 cents. On to number 1. If you watch this channel, it's probably going to be a huge surprise. Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp. He is in 2,525 decks, 1 colorless. He is not, once again, he is not a colorless commander just because he's colorless. He has red and white in his abilities. The pips are shown in his ability box, which makes him a Boros commander, which is a nice thing. Anyway, so he is a 0/0 technically, but he has modular 1, meaning he comes in and gets a +1/+1 counter right away. He's all about modular, so that's great. So if a modular trigger ability would put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on that instead. So basically, as these creatures are destroyed, they're going to move their +1/+1 counters to another artifact creature, and you're just going to keep moving them around, and every time you do that, you get an extra one, so they get a bit bigger every time. And yeah, his abilities are, for a red, destroy target artifact you control. No tapping, just 1 red, blow up something. So yeah, there's artifact creatures that are going to, like, become these kind of stockpiles for +1/+1 counters. You blow them up and you move them all onto another creature. And they can either just do a whole bunch of damage, or they can use some kind of trick to just create a bunch of mayhem, basically. And for white, he can gain flying. For 1 white, gains flying. 13 cents only. Actually, yeah, I did a deck on this, as I said. I reviewed a deck and I made my own budget version. I really liked this. Is one of the ones where I was like, I wonder if I can put this together in South Korea. And I started like adding even like a quarter of the cards in, and you can get it in the US for about $25, and I was way over $50 already, just with like a quarter of the card. So I ended up not doing it, sadly, but anyway. +1/+1 counters, because you can move them around, is one advantage, but also the fact that, yeah, you can get all kinds of other bonuses. Building around +1/+1 counters is very easy. It's one of my go-to sub-themes. So you can use this kind of your like main commander trick. It is, or your commander, I shouldn't call it a trick. The main theme of your deck is a really effective way to go about it. This also gives you kind of a double thing to take advantage of. So there's a +1/+1 counters and all the artifact synergy and artifact creature synergy. So very abusable. For 13 cents, it is good. Alright, so my recommendations. Arcbound Shikari. Am I saying it right? I always feel like I should say Shakira, but I know that's wrong. Anyway. 1 red white for this 0/0 with first strike. So when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other artifact creature you control, and has modular 2. So when it comes in, it gets 2 +1/+1 counters. It's going to put a +1/+1 counter on every other artifact creature, which should be all of your creatures, including your commander. So yeah, as they start, getting destroyed and moving their +1/+1 counters around, they're going to be bigger when they do that. So yeah, 8 cents, well worth it. Next one is Arcbound Javelineer for 1 white. You can tap and remove X +1/+1 counters from it. It deals X damage to attacking creature or blocking creature. Just being able to punish those attackers or blockers is very good. They don't have to be attacking or blocking you. You can do this during anyone's turn, right? You can basically use this as like a removal spell. And you're going to be able to get those +1/+1 counters on this pretty easily. So not hard to do. Anyway, 6 whole cents for that one. And this is the craziest one. I hadn't seen this before I built this deck. Triskelion for 6. This artifact creature construct is a 1/1, and it enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So it's going to be a 4/4, and you can remove a +1/+1 counter from it. It deals 1 damage to any target. Any target, including players, right? So yeah, you don't have to like you can, even by mid-game, if people are starting to lose some life, you might be able to just like take a player out by taking +1/+1 counters off of this guy, or use this as like your finisher to take the game. Only 16 cents. Basically, it's Walking Ballista that is like only 16 cents somehow. Insane. Alright, we're going to get on to the list here. It's only 5, so it's a short list, thankfully. Anyway, Freya Crescent is 16 cents only. Skrelv Defector Might, 131, the most expensive one on the list by a long shot. Frodo Sauron's Bane is 25 cents. Noran Swiss Survivalist. I can't say words, so 3 cents, but tricky. Anyway, finally, Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp. I still want to build that deck. 13 cents only. So good. Anyway, take it easy.